So, welcome, Eva, to Raw and Cooked Vegan.
Oh, thank you for being here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And can you tell me first about your family when you were a child? Did your family know about nutrition or no?
Oh, no, nobody actually I knew anything new of nutrition. So everybody in my family and everybody in the village, in the relations, everybody thought that you have to eat everything in order to be healthy. So we had the meat, we had the milk, eggs, and it was thought to be a very healthy food. But we grew our own vegetables and fruits. So where I grew up in the village, it was normal to have a garden, and you grew your own vegetables. You didn't use anything chemical to fertilize, yeah. And also it was very common to have your own chicken, maybe 1-2 pigs. People even had cows in the village, and you could buy milk from them. My grandmother used to have cows also, but we didn't. When I was a child, we had chicken and pigs.
Okay.
So basically, we had everything, but not so much cheese. Like when I moved to Amsterdam or when I came here to Paris, I was shocked. They buy a big bunch of cheese and they finish it in a short time. But no, we didn't have so much. You had if we bought cheese, we bought like 10 deca. So it was really not a much amount. And milk also, yes, we consumed milk, but not so heavily.
Okay.
And actually, meat was like, because we had chicken and pig, and the Hungarian dishes, a lot of them are with meat, but often my family is not a big meat eater, and when we made the dish, everybody used the sauce with the pasta, 1-2 bites of meat, and then the rest we used to toss. And I've heard my mother say many times, oh, the good meat, and nobody wants to eat it, So, but we had a lot of fat, because we had the fat of the pig, we stored it in a big jar. Every food, when you prepared your food, it started with using some pig fat, and then onion, meat, vegetable, whatever you put on. So we really, I think generally the Hungarian dish is very fatty.
Okay.
But we had lots of vegetable and fruit and greens from the garden, good quality. And my parents didn't really overeat. They had just a normal amount, and they were active physically.
Okay.
But the problem came when they retired, and they moved less. Maybe eat a little bit more, because when you're bored, you just find yourself in the kitchen, and then they start to come overweight.
Okay. And at what age did you become interested in changing your diet?
Oh, well, it didn't happen consciously. I mean, the first step, the later step, yes. Because when I was around 26 or so, 25, I bought a house next to the place where it was a butchery, when they sell the meat, but also they brought the pigs over there. I think they killed the pigs over there. I'm not sure what was going on, but I saw the pigs arrive with the camion, and I heard a pig screaming when I passed this place.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, it was maybe natural for me. I try not to listen. I try to calm myself that, they don't hurt the pig. I knew that the pig scream even, when you just want them to move place, they make noises and not necessarily hurting them, yeah?
Yeah.
Because I grew up with them. And then I thought, no, they're not necessarily hurting them. Maybe they just want to bring them down of the camion or whatever reason they scream for. But then I started to dream, have a horrible dream that a pig was coming to me without skin and begging me that please don't eat me, don't hurt me, and he was in pain, and I could see the flesh.
Wow, that's a powerful dream.
Yeah. And then, I woke up just like, oh, well, that was a dream, what a horrible dream, but I continued buying meat.
Yeah.
But then, when I started to have my dinner, I started to think of the animal, not only the pig, but the chicken But it's really, you grow up with this mentality that you eat meat. It's difficult to change,
Yeah. Yeah.
Then even, when I was a child and we killed the pig, I used to be very in shock and sorry for the pig. But my mother said always, everybody has to die once.
Yeah.
And, I thought, well, the pig and the chicken has a good life. They don't have to worry about anything. We feed them. They have a good place. And then they suddenly die. So it's really like nature. But this time, and then the second time, again, I had a dream like this.
Wow.
And then, I was thinking more and more about the animal, and then I was imagining that I wouldn't want somebody to kill me just for eating me, And then
That's true. Yeah.
But still, I was not that much a big meat eater, but I bought my ham or salami or occasionally a little bit of meat. I cooked it, but then I started to eat it. I couldn't swallow it down. I just thought of the animal, I felt sorry for it, so I put it in the dustbin. But, a week later, again, I bought the meat because I used to eat. My mom was a meat eater also. And then a few times, the salami or the meat landed in the bin. And then I thought, why, I better not to buy it because it's expensive in my country, and I thought it's just a waste of money. So I didn't buy it. I didn't eat meat. But if somebody asked me, are you a vegetarian? I would have said, vegetarian, what is it? I don't know. There is some kind of weird people, I didn't even know what is the difference between vegetarian or vegan,
Yeah.
I've never met a vegetarian in my life before, I just heard, yes, exists, something like that. They don't eat meat. Yeah, that's it. And don't tell me I'm a vegetarian, I'm a normal person. So, and then I moved to Amsterdam and I lived with a dancer. And one day she came home and she said, my friend is trying a raw food. Maybe we can try it. I said, okay, why not? And then I thought, yeah, but when you eat raw, it sounds good because, I thought, yeah, when you don't cook the carrot, it has more nutrition in it.
Yeah.
But I started to think, but can you eat cabbage without cooking? Maybe it's hard for the digestion. And these people who have raw food, do they eat meat? Because you cannot eat meat raw. And I started to look on the internet, what can you eat, how much, but we started to eat mainly raw, fruits, vegetables, and as I looked on the internet more and more, I really got interested in it.
Yeah.
And I've heard people saying that they're feeling better on raw food, and it sounds good. So I thought, wow, that's good. But I was still cautious. I didn't know exactly how to be on a raw food, how to eat correctly. And as I searched, I didn't come across the 80-10-10 straight away, I found different people, and also different doctors. I found the YouTube videos of doctors. So, and I was looking, I wanted to know is it good to eat meat or not? Because, if you eat raw, I thought you cannot eat meat, but obviously you must eat meat in order to stay healthy. And,
Yeah.
And then I started to listen to different doctors. And, I was a little bit confused because one person said this, other person said completely the opposite. And so they cannot make their mind up what is healthy and what is not. Even the doctors, they're supposed to be professional. They're supposed to know it.
Yeah.
But then I did listen to a lot of YouTube videos. And then I started to go after the result. So I thought, okay, I don't care about the theory. Are you healthy? If you're eating this thing.
Very practical,
doctor, are your patients doing well? And then I found, that people who had real good results eat a low-fat diet, and then I found the Dr. Graham, the 80-10-10.
Yeah.
And, of course, after Dr. Bernard, John McDougall, and all the good ones.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, they look healthy. Because I also looked at the person, You're talking about the diet, but are you looking good and healthy? And I thought, oh, these doctors are really not young, and they still look really good and healthy and active. And then a lot of testimonies I've heard and read. And then I became aware that, yes, really you have to watch the fat content also.
Yeah.
So basically when we started the raw with my friend, we had raw, but I couldn't manage just raw. So in the evening, I always boiled some potato, just in water, that's it. I boiled some potato, and then I had with the raw vegetable.
Okay.
And then again, I'm moving quite a lot, and changing the environment affects you a lot also, and who are you with, and what are your possibilities, and then, I found myself eating a lot more cooked food, but I didn't mind actually. I'm not, I can feel when I'm more on the raw, it's better.
Huh.
But if I eat pasta or potato or anything, I don't mind, or rice.
So you're not rigid. You are not, that's good.
So I'm flexible whenever I want to eat cooked food, or if I'm in a situation, because sometimes when I moved, I moved to other people's places. You cannot do shopping so easily.
Yeah.
I don't mind having cooked food. And
that's good. Did you notice as you made this transition? It sounds like this transition for you took some time to become, let's say, low-fat vegan. Did you notice any effects on your health as that? Okay, so describe that for us.
Yeah. Actually, I had a very, very terrible headaches.
Huh.
And it was really so bad that I wanted to die. I couldn't bear the pain. I said giving birth was nothing compared to this headache. And
wow.
I was vomiting and...
like a migraine? Like migraine headache?
Yeah, migraine, yeah. But it was so bad that I had my daughter already, but there were some points when I thought I'd rather die because I cannot bear it anymore. And the headache came more and more often. First, it was just a slight headache, and I was like, oh, I have a headache. I never used to have headache. And then it was coming more and more often, and stronger, and lasted longer.
Uh-huh.
So I got to the point where I had headache maybe 3 days in a row.
Wow.
And then a couple of days I didn't have it, but then I again had headache for 1, 2, or even 3 days. So I started to count the days when I didn't have headache.
Jeez.
And actually, I also changed my diet in a way that when I moved away from my parents to the big city, I didn't have those fruits and vegetables. I had like tomatoes. I tasted it and I asked, what is it? And I looked in the shop, all the tomatoes are the same shape, same size. And really, when you taste it, I couldn't eat at the beginning. I said, this is nothing.
Yeah,
so
that's a great point.
Yeah. I had the less quality food.
Yeah.
The eggs, at that time I had eggs also. If I wanted to beat up the egg white, it was just water. My mother's egg, you just beat it 2, 3 times and it's ready. And this was water. I couldn't do anything, and then I bought all, I don't know what kind of farm egg, and nothing worked,
Yeah, yeah.
Expensive. But also, I went to the McDonald's, Kentucky. I got my chips. When I was a child, we didn't really have chips and chocolate and all this rubbish,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Maybe occasionally you had a treat, or sometimes even I remember my mother bought one little piece of chocolate.
Yeah.
And, we shared it with my brother.
Yeah.
So I didn't really eat well, so could be that my headache was because of all the junk I had, extra junk. And
Eva, can I ask you, did you also drink coffee?
No coffee, no alcohol, no smoking.
Wow.
Nothing.
Okay.
And I was quite active. I had sports.
Okay.
I was very active sport-wise.
So when you made this change to your diet, did the headache start to diminish?
Yeah, the headache, that's completely, I just realized, oh, it's been weeks. I didn't have headache.
Wow.
And also I had a lot of spots.
Yeah.
Not so many, but like always like 3, 4, 5 spots, but really red. And on my chest, acne.
Yeah. Yep.
And I had always big stomach, bloated stomach,
Yeah.
I've always been skinny, very skinny, but I had a big stomach that people used to give the seed because they thought I'm pregnant.
Okay, so they would tease you, huh? Yeah.
No, they, the strangers, like at the post, got up and offered me the seat, and I was like, why everybody is giving me the seat? And then this lady at the post said, oh, I was also pregnant when it was summer, and blah, blah, blah. I said, wow, that's it. That's why they are so... And...
So when you changed your diet, did your baby go away?
Yeah, definitely. I had a flatter stomach, my headache gone, my skin became clear.
Yeah.
And I've been to the doctor with my skin. They couldn't do anything. They just gave some medication, and for that time I took the medication, the acne went away. But after I stopped the medication, it came back.
Yep.
And they never even considered that the food could be one cause,
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
And even my headache, when I had these huge headaches, I had a relationship with a GP. And he also wanted to do all scans and I don't know what, but not for one moment he thought that maybe I should change my diet or eat more clean or something.
I know, it's amazing. It's amazing. These professional doctors, they spend so much money studying and learning, and they don't see nutrition. It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell me, it sounds like, so it's interesting that you say it was kind of this gradual, almost not a conscious decision to become vegan, but it kind of happened. Did you, along the way, did you learn more about the ethical treatment of animals?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
After, I mean, it was big due to the YouTube videos. If I don't see the videos, I would never think of it. Because, I had the idea, yes, they keep the animals like we did at home. They have a nice environment. They have a nice life. And then, okay, they kill it. It's not nice, but everybody dies, as my mother said,
Yeah.
But then, like freely put on some videos, I was not able even to watch it, It was like few seconds and I had to turn it off. And
yeah.
Sometimes I bumped into videos or pictures like that. And it was like really gave me a shock. And, after even in an everyday life, when I was just moving about in the city, I'm thinking of these animals that maybe at this moment even, some of them are suffering right now. They cut, I don't know, or they throw right now. And
yeah.
So, yeah, definitely then I really didn't feel good. And I want other people also to be vegan. It's for them also because they won't suffer so much health-wise. But for the animals also, it's definitely.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. And do you also, in the United States, the environmental damage caused by commercial farming is astronomical. Is that similar in Europe? Do you have the same kind of large-scale commercial farming?
I'm not so clear about it, but I'm not so sure, that here in Europe everything goes as drastically as in the USA, but I really don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Also, people are not clear with the environmental effects, and to be honest, I wasn't also. I saw the YouTube video Earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was like shocked, like, wow, I didn't know all this,
Yeah, it's amazing. Let me ask you, so you made this change and you said even yourself, you used to think these vegetarians, they are very strange, very crazy people. How has it been for you now that you live this way with your family and your friends? Do they accept the way you live? Do they listen to what you say about these things? Do they think you are crazy? Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, I don't live with my family because they are in Hungary.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how they react. But my friends, well, everybody thinks I will be sick because I don't eat meat. It's not that you don't eat the dairy, like milk and sort of stuff. You don't eat meat. Oh, mamma mia, you will be sick. So if I have some kind of health problems, then they will say, wow, I told you, you don't eat meat. That's it. But if they are sick non-stop, that's okay. That's not a problem. But if you... it happened not long ago. I had a stomach ache. In the night, I started to have the stomach ache, and even next day I was like not feeling too good.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I got some virus or I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And then oh, you should go to the hospital. And there is something really seriously wrong. This is a person who non-stop has a stomachache, yeah?
Yeah.
All the time taking some kind of medication and then, but now, because for one day I had a stomachache, he was like, really? And then, every hour, are you okay? Are you sure you don't want to go to the hospital? Yeah, they definitely think it's not a healthy living, and you will be sick. And the people around me wants to lose weight. They struggling with it. They going to the nutritionist. They cannot. They become diabetic, but still they know everything how to eat. And I don't. And then it was so funny when I was having a dinner with this lady, she was struggling with her weight. And the nutritionist gave her a list, what she has to eat. Basically, when I looked at the list, I thought, wow, if you tell me to write a bad list, I couldn't have done such a good work as this one. It was like meat, cheese, egg, some bread. That was the basic.
Yeah.
And then you could have maybe one piece of fruit, and then a banana and grapes was on the list that you cannot touch it because it makes you fat. Other fruits, yes, you can have one piece. Little bit of vegetable. And when I was eating with her, she was weighing the green peas. And then we had the peas because, it's too much. And I was like, and I'm eating with her at the same table, 2-3 plates of vegetables.
Yeah.
And I said, don't you think, I'm not fat. You have the problem. Then maybe it's not the peas or not the banana, it's something else. And
It's crazy.
She's giving a lot of money. She's not listening to me because, of course, I know nothing. So she keeps going for years on to her nutritionist without any result. And she's been diagnosed now diabetic also.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's just such a waste. It's crazy. And I don't know if you saw this, but we've had this thing in the news here in the U.S. lately that there was this council has determined that cholesterol is not a problem. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Here we are, it's 2015, and they are still not recognizing the problems with fat.
Just recently there was an article about in Hungarian, that a doctor announced, a specialist in the heart, I don't know, cardiologist or something like that.
Yeah.
And he announced that it's not the fat, and it actually a low-fat diet can damage all arteries, and it will lead to cardio. And you know how many shares it had? People were sharing and sharing.
Yeah.
But if you write about Ornish or Assassin, oh, this is crazy. I mean, oh la la.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's like people want justification for eating the wrong thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And you know what? I tell you one more thing. I want to raise awareness that type 2 can be reversed or improved greatly. So I'm trying to talk about it and make groups. And also in the Hungarian page, I created a page and I was writing into forums where the people were attacking me so badly, I want to kill diabetic people. So I'm a murderer, I should be going away from the forum and don't say anything. So, but there was a guy who And also I created a page after, you know, I put all the facts, the studies, some people, you know, like Robbie, and, you know, it's not the carb, you can eat carb. And Barnard's study and everything.
Yeah.
And then a guy contacted me and he said, listen, you are writing something exactly the opposite that my doctor tells me. But I'm already on 2 medication, and it started with one, increasing the dose, then the other one increased the dose, and now my doctor says I will need insulin because his blood sugar was always like 19, 20, even with the 2 medications.
Wow.
He was really depressed, and I said, well, you see the results on my page, the study and all the other people's results. You can try this maybe. So he tried it, and he said, okay, I tried. I don't know if I have problem, you know, eating all the carbs suddenly and then my blood sugar will shoot up and I will pass out or something, but I will try. And then, you know, after like 2-3 days, he said, wow, my blood sugar is improving really a great deal. After 3 weeks, he said, I'm not taking one of my medication. My blood sugar is normal and just above normal. And like in a good month, he lost 15 kilos.
Wow.
He kept saying, you know, I'm losing my trousers, and I said, well, it's normal, you lose weight with this diet. But when he said, at the end, you know, I've lost 15 kilos, I said, what, 15 kilos? So, and then when he went back to the doctor, he said, well, I went back to the doctor, and then I explained to my doctor, you know, what is it about?
Yeah.
And you know, the funny thing is, then he wrote to the forum and he wrote exactly down, you know, I had this kind of blood sugar, I changed my diet, and exactly what he ate, how his blood sugar changed. And then everybody was attacking him. You are crazy, go away. And because they knew he knows me, then they were like, oh, go with her, and I don't know, they were really rude, and then he left the forum, you know, they were attacking him so much. But then he opened another group, and there were some people who joined the group, and it turned out that other people also trying the diet.
Wow.
So,
you know, Eva, that's a great example of, you know, you saved this guy. You saved that guy.
Yeah, you know,
mean,
I'm fast food, and then they tell me that I'm a killer. And I said, how can I be a killer? I saved this guy because you don't know, you know, where he ends up.
Yeah.
And you know, other people also tried this diet, and they also had good results. Yeah, they were not as desperate as this guy, but you know, they were on medication, they had high sugar and overweight, and they having good result, you know. Some of them already have a good blood sugar, still have to lose weight, and you know, but, and on the, I went to the cancer forum also.
Yeah.
I put on one study that certain vegetables are good for certain type of cancer. And wow, again, the same attack. And I don't know, after a few days, I didn't really read the comments, but somebody wrote me that they are really angry, and they are making like nasty comments about me. And then after they from the 2 forums, the 2 cancer forums, I posted the same. Both of them, they locked me out straight away.
You know,
and they said, if a doctor kills a patient, it's okay, but if you kill a patient. And I said, I'm just saying that maybe you could eat some certain vegetable, you know, adding some certain vegetable to your diet. This was the whole thing about like garlic and onions and whatever, you know, are good. I just say that don't skip it, that it's maybe useful if you implement it in your diet. You will die from garlic or onion, you know.
It's crazy.
From
Crazy.
McDonald's, you can implement McDonald's, but don't touch the fruit.
Yeah, I know. It's just it's so strange that it's flipped, you know. And I think it's partly the success of the advertising of commercial industry, and you know, in the medical profession, there's this tendency towards specification. You know, so these doctors, they study one part of science, so they know the detail, but they are unable to see the broader picture. And then, of course, they don't even get taught nutrition. I don't know what it's like in Europe, but in the United States, I think the doctor is required, you know, one class of nutrition. It's 2 hours. It's something tiny, you know. So.
No, here also they don't care about the nutrition. They never touch it or never think about the food.
Yeah.
And you know, here in Paris, I tried to talk to some doctors, and like presenting, if I talk to an endocrinologist, you know, I'm listen, here is Dr. Bernard's work, and it works, and I post the Robbie's video or Tashali, and you know, they just laugh about it, and it's not true. You know, I'm not a doctor, but when I saw these videos for the first time, I was like, what? You eat all these fruits? You're not supposed to, you know, and it made me think, how is it possible? What is behind, you know, what is the biochemistry behind it? I want to know. They don't, you know. They're not
I know, it's crazy. And if you look at it from a common sense point, like you said yourself, you know, a carrot in nature is going to have a lot of nutrients. You eat a raw carrot, it has a lot of nutrients. I mean, it's simple at one level. You know, you're going to have more nutrients from a carrot than from a pig fat.
Yeah.
You know? So it's crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But listen, Eva, I have to stop the video here because I'm starting to get a lot of content on my computer. I'm running out of space. But I love talking with you. So maybe we can do again. We can revisit maybe in a week or two and do maybe part 2.
Okay.
And we can talk about some other things. So so I really appreciate you taking the time. And I love what you're doing. You're doing great stuff. I know it feels like you are going uphill. It's uphill against the public, you know, but it's great. I mean, you're helping people. It's fabulous. And then your own health, it's a great story.
Yeah, definitely. I just have to protect myself because people will kill me soon.
Well, I think it's people like you that are gradually going to push the consciousness over. You know, it's like one person at a time, and you cannot suppress the truth forever.
Yeah.
So these people, they are having personal experience, the truth of what you're saying. So
you know, now the internet is here. You cannot shut people up. Before the internet, yes, you could. Yeah. But now it's breaking through with the internet.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's really good. So thank you so much, Eva. Thank you.
Thank you.
How can I say thank you in Hungarian?
Köszönöm.
Köszönöm. Okay. All right. So take care, and we'll talk again, okay?
Okay.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Because in Hungary, the dairy industry teaches the slogan. Yeah, this is really interesting because I think, you know, in Hungary and Bavaria and some of these countries that their dairy is so central to the culture. It's so old. I think there's even some genetic adaptation for Northern Europeans to digest milk, but still there's a lot of problems. So yeah, we should do that. And then let's see. What was this? They put a cigarette in the bird's water. I didn't get that. What's that about?
Yeah. He had a bird. I don't know where it just came in and maybe it was cold. Anyway, he got a cage for it and gave food and everything. And he has upstairs a few hotel rooms and and because the bird was in the corridor outside, somebody was putting the end of the cigarette into the water. Yeah. He got so mad, he chucked the guy out straight away. And he said, "You cannot do this to an animal. You put the cigarette into his water." And then, when he was telling the whole story to me, he was so angry even afterwards, and then he was eating actually a chicken. And I said, well, that's a bird also. Maybe the same cat, because that was a big bird it was a turtle tub or something like that. And he said, yeah, mother, that's different. I said, why is it different? And do you know how they treat it in the industry, and wow, but it was for me so funny that you chuck your guest out, you don't have that income because you put a cigarette in the water. So
that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, it's it's great. It's like if people have a pet, they have a pet dog or a pet cat, they would never think of roasting it on the fire and eating it for dinner,
This bird was not even that he bought it. He wants this bird. This bird just got into the house a few times, through the window. And he got a cage because it made a mess inside the house. And he was giving food and everything. So it was not even that he wanted to have it or, it was just arrived. Something, not a special bird.
That's funny. That's funny. But let's talk about this issue you raised. You were saying that, so I'm just going into the interview, okay? And you said that in Hungary, the dairy industry is so deeply embedded in the culture. Tell us a little bit about that. How children are raised to think milk is so important.
Yeah, there is a slogan in Hungary, a tej, életerő, egészség. And this means milk is health, strength, egészség, health.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
And all children knows this slogan, even the smallest one. Yeah.
Wow.
You learn it by heart. So I don't know, maybe facts in the school, but this slogan I surely knew when I was a child. Everyone knows that. Maybe you cannot add or subtract, but this slogan everybody knows, and they take it serious. They believe it.
Wow. So that must mean if you're against dairy in Hungary, it must be very difficult.
It is actually, yeah. Because if I just say the milk is not good, they would say, yeah, a tej, életerő, egészség. It is health, strength, and life.
That's amazing. And I would guess that are dairy products a big part of Hungarian the market? They sell a lot of cheese, a lot of milk.
Not as much as in Holland or in France,
okay.
And it's rather expensive. I mean the cheese, but milk, for example, in the school you have school milk. So a lot of school provides food for the kids. It's not a big meal. Just you have milk. School milk, especially packed for the school children.
Yeah.
And like some bread roll or some kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Different shape, but the same material, bread-like something. So you have 2 of that and 2 deciliter of milk. And so in the school also, I could not escape from it. because, and of course I liked it and everybody drank it. It was just normal, but you had it in the school
Yeah.
meal.
Yeah. And did you like, in the United States, every year, we go through these cycles where the children come home and get sick, especially after Thanksgiving and Christmas. Thanksgiving is our big holiday in the United States, and then Christmas, and there's eating of tons of heavy food, and there's often a great increase in the number of colds and illnesses right after Thanksgiving and right after Christmas. So, did you notice this in school in Hungary? Was lots of kids getting colds and flus and that sort of thing? A lot of mucus from the milk?
I would not say that we got sick from the milk. I mean, we continuously drank it.
Yeah.
At Christmas time or special events, we had heavy food, a lot of pig meat and all kind of stuff. But I don't know, it was like we had a normally holiday around these days. So
Yeah.
it was okay that, I feel heavy or I feel not so good because you didn't go to work. So you had time to recover.
Yeah, that's true. It's like a hangover. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. There's a couple of nutrients I want to ask you about, Eva. So if you could tell us the conclusion you reach for yourself on each nutrient. And the first one is vitamin B12.
Well, yes, I was somebody who never took any supplements, no vitamins, nothing. I mean, I was never bothered about it. And B12, I think I'm going to make an exception, and I did some already. Not so seriously, but because I've heard that it can be a danger.
Yeah.
So I already bought some pills, and I mean, I'm not taking it regularly because I'm not used to it, but when I think of it, I take.
Yeah. Is that pill, is that a sublingual you put under your tongue?
Yeah, you just suck it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even really got into the different types of B12. Which one is better, which one is not. I just went to the pharmacy, but here where I live, I went to quite a few pharmacies because they didn't even have B12.
Okay.
So eventually I found in one pharmacy and they had this type, but is it really the best type? I don't know. But at the moment I'm not feeling any sign of deficiency. But basically I'm not on this lifestyle for decades. I've been just few years, so. Yeah.
And this is this pharmacy where you got the B12, this is in Paris?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, the second nutrient I'm interested in is vitamin D. Vitamin D?
Yeah. Well, I also didn't buy.
Okay.
But I lived in a country so far, I mean in Hungary most of the time, and Amsterdam also we had some sun in the summer, and here in Paris we have sun in the summer. I mean I came here last summer, but no, the year before. So the 2 summers I could have sunshine, and I went out regularly to the park and sunbathed regularly. So I mean I'm feeling a little bit paler, more pale than in Hungary because I continuously had it, and in Amsterdam I didn't have much sun. Yeah. But I'm not taking supplement for it yet. I mean, I don't feel any sign, but like today also we had some sun. It's cold, but at least on my face I could get some sunshine. So maybe it's not so much a danger here, and the summer is coming, and as soon as it's warm enough, I go out and sunbathe. So I'm trying to get as much D vitamin as possible from the sunshine. And I mean, if I move to a country where we don't have sun, and I mean, then I think I will supplement on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, gotcha. Okay. And the last one I'm interested in is iodine. Iodine, is that a concern or no?
For me, no.
Okay, okay. All right.
Should I?
Well, some people think so, some people don't think so. I don't know if you have this in Europe, but, in the United States we have iodized salt.
Yeah.
A long time ago, maybe 100 years ago or more, they found that the soil in the United States was deficient in iodine or iodine. Some people say iodine. And so they enacted a law to make all salt production have iodine in it. So that we have iodized table salt. And
We use it here.
you have also in Europe?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
But I mean, I was not cautious of iodine, and now I'm not really using salt or very little, and sometimes I'm using Himalayan salt. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not feeling any deficiency now, and I'm trying to eat all different kind of variety.
Yeah.
But if something comes up, obviously I'm going to look in, why this problem is, and if I need supplement, I will do supplementation. But if it's possible, I don't like it.
Yeah. Some people, what they do is they eat sea vegetable or seaweed, and they feel that this gives them iodine and maybe some other nutrients. So you could say that that's a quasi raw food like seaweed or sea vegetable. But anyway. Okay. Another topic that we said we'd talk about, which I think is a huge benefit to eating this way, and that is that the body odor changes. So people eating a lot of meat and cheese, they often have really bad body odor. So did you experience this for yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. I was not. I never sweat all over my body, so I'm not a sweaty type. But under my arm, I sweat, and actually, I had such a bad odor that if I took a shower in the summer, and after shower I didn't use deodorant straight away, within 1-2 minutes I had smell. So if I started to dress and do something with my hair, I had to wash my underarm again, and I just came out of the shower.
Yeah.
And it's so intense, it was really, and I was not eating that bad, I mean, I was not all the time in the McDonald's and chips, and I was eating not so bad.
Yeah.
And still my odor was terrible. And actually, I didn't even take notice of it, but when I was living with this dancer who did the raw food with me, one day she came home and she said, "Oh, I forgot to put on my deodorant," and I went to work, and I was like in the bus, "Oh my God, I will be so smelly, and everybody around me will, come like this." And she said, "I don't smell at all." And I was working hard and sweating, and I don't smell at all. And then I thought, oh, actually, after days, I was cautious of my smell. I don't smell at all. So I don't use any deodorant now. Doesn't matter how hot it is. I use nothing, and I don't have any smell.
Yeah, this is a great point, Eva. And I think it's actually kind of unhealthy that this using deodorant has become so common, because what deodorant does, it blocks the pores. So you're holding in the body. The body's trying to eliminate, and the deodorant is holding it in. It's crazy.
That's right. And I knew that, and I didn't want to, but I had to, because I couldn't go outside, I just smelled really bad.
Yeah. Let me ask you on this, did you at that time eat much garlic, and do you still eat garlic or no?
Well, garlic, I've always eaten, not too much, but I mean, in my family where I grew up, we use garlic.
Yeah, yeah.
So we, no, not every meal, but we're eating. Even raw, and my mother used to make a toast, then rub the garlic in, and
Yeah.
then put the fat on.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then you smell it.
Right, right. All right. So it's interesting. Now, some other things I wanted to talk to you about. What kind of work do you do in Paris? I think we talked about this a little bit. What is your work?
Yeah, I've changed work now, so I'm focusing only on advertising this lifestyle, but I'm focusing on the disease, not so much just, oh, this is a great lifestyle, but I'm focusing on special diseases, so like diabetes or reversing heart disease or joint pains and anything like that. Actually, yesterday I was at a meeting and one of a coach, I mean, she's a life coach, and she said I should talk to somebody, and her friend, she's also coach, and she is dealing with diseases, but on the psychological side, if they have family problem and whatever.
Yeah.
So she said that maybe we could work, three of us together, and it would have more power. And I want to create groups, especially for diabetes, because it's so common and so easily, so quickly you can reverse it.
Yeah.
So I want to give it maybe a name or so and create a really big network. So in Europe, because, we don't really speak English here. I mean, a majority of people don't speak English.
Yeah.
And so I really want to create a big network.
That's fabulous, Eva. I'm not sure if I asked you this before, but how many languages do you speak?
Oh, I mean, I can say not even one properly at the moment because I keep moving and learning new languages. And now I'm on the point that I don't speak any languages normally, Not even Hungarian.
Well,
I was rejected in Amsterdam, at the job interview because they said, oh, we want a native Hungarian speaker. And I said, wow, I am Hungarian. So they didn't give me the job. They didn't believe I'm Hungarian. So.
That's funny. That's funny. I'm sometimes a bit jealous of you Europeans because you have so many countries and so many different cultures and languages. It's such a rich environment. In the United States, we study a little bit of language in school, but it's usually not very much, and people don't really remember it,
But, if my mother tongue was English, I wouldn't bother learning other languages. If you speak English, that's it, that's good. I told my daughter, you have to read, write, add, subtract, and speak English.
Yeah.
That's the basic.
Now, one thing I'm curious about, do you find that in Paris, is there much acceptance of the ideas that you're talking about? Is there a vegan movement in Paris? Is it very large? Is it very small?
I mean, I've seen quite a few vegan groups, and they're going out. Also, we have some restaurants, so it's not unusual. And generally, I think the French, I mean, we have a lot of different nationality, but as far as I see, the French are not eating too bad or not so fat, and no, even whatever they eat, they don't eat a big quantity. So I think they're not doing so bad.
Yeah. There was an interesting book that came out. I can't remember the title of it, but it was the basis of the title was Why French Women Don't Get So Fat. And the idea was that the French culture, it kind of celebrates food, but in a balanced way. It's like a great enjoyment of food, but not excessive.
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, yes, and you know, it's normal here if you go out to a restaurant that you leave a great portion on the plate.
Okay.
I was just halfway through my because I've ordered some vegetable, and I was just halfway through because you know, for a vegetable you have to eat. And then my friend was looking at me like that. Oh, but you know, we have some dessert too. And like, don't stop eating.
That's funny. That's funny. All right. So let's see. I'm not sure if we talked about this in our other interview, but I'm curious. Have you? How have you addressed having this knowledge that you have? You know how healthy this is, and yet you probably have members of your family who are sick. They still eat the old way. How do you talk to them about it? Is it difficult? Is it frustrating for you?
Yeah, you know, to be honest, the the people who are close to me normally they are the most difficult to deal with, and it's
Yeah.
the more heartbreaking to see, you know, what they're doing, and I could help or they don't listen. So yes, it's difficult, and also, you know, my father had a problem with his heart, and I really, you know, I'm coming around it because I don't want to say, hey, you should eat like this, because I also think maybe they won't change or they don't listen.
Yeah.
But what I did was I did in Hungarian a video explaining everything.
Good.
And asked my daughter, you know, and my brother, well, they can have a look, but it's like, oh, I don't even want to hear the reaction, because based on my experience here in Paris, you know, the people who are really close to me, they don't listen, and sometimes they even attack me. You know, you do, I don't know the word for it in English, diabetes. You do like a stupid thing.
You're
and
crazy. Yeah.
And then the other day, somebody arrived in the house, the son of the person I live with, and he said, "Oh, I saw you on Facebook. You posted something, and you're gonna kill people." And you know, so
Yeah.
you know, they laugh about me, or I also know that, you know, when I'm not there, they have like a gathering and they talk about me, and then I just hear back a little bit of things of it. So it's not because they're nasty, yeah. They're very nice people, and they really want to help me, and they help me with everything else. It's just that they believe I'm doing something wrong, and you know, they want to stop me.
Yeah.
And
it's sad.
if I say, but listen, this or this person, what great, because today also, you know, I just read a post, and the person I helped, he posted his result of the doctors. He asked to print it out, and his blood sugar was amazingly improving, you know. And if I say here that, look, I'm helping people, I'm not doing something dangerous, but they just say, yeah. Or, you know, yesterday when I was eating, the guy who was trying to lose weight desperately, and he cannot, and he says, oh, well, you eat a lot, but you don't get fat. And they think, oh, that's me, my genes and whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how many excuses people come up with, and they just will not look at what they're eating. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it can be frustrating, but I think that's so great that you're going to work with these two other women. That's a great idea. The three of you together, you can support each other. That's really good. And maybe I'm wrong on this, but I have the impression that perhaps especially in France, there's an interest in the quality of the food, and that there's a reluctance to use pesticides, to use these commercial farming practices that are so popular in the United States. Is that true, or is it this?
Industry goes here also not well, but I mean, we have a lot of natural shop. People try and want to eat good. I mean, they are aware of the chemicals and they want to eat clean stuff. They are aware of that one here. And we also, you know, I can buy easily vegetable that has no taste and no water, and it's not a real vegetable, you know.
Yeah.
They sell it. So it's not everything clean here like everywhere else, I think. But I mean, a lot of people I met, they really want to eat clean, but you know, you cannot always buy in the bio shop because it's more expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And but even here, you know, sometimes people have outside of Paris a little piece of land, and they grow their own vegetable or fruit. So yeah, people are trying to eat better quality, but you cannot always succeed on it.
Right. Okay. Can you tell for the viewer the name of your channel, your website, any information that they can find you?
Yeah, well, I'm having only Hungarian ones at the moment.
Okay.
But I'm working on a web page, and I want to build up an English one. English Facebook and channel, and you know, making videos in English on the disease.
Just in case someone Hungarian is watching, can you tell us the name of the Hungarian site?
Yeah, I've opened one for diabetes, and it's cukorbetegség más szemmel.
Okay.
And I actually, among the first ones who had great results with my health, opened up another group where they can talk to each other. And it's gyógyuló és gyógyulni vágyó cukorbetegek.
Okay, all right.
And if they come here, then they have a lot of success and a lot of support with this kind of method.
Fantastic. All right.
I also have in Hungarian, I also have a YouTube channel. It's running under my name, Eva Budai.
Yes, okay, great. And is there anything else you want to include in this interview, Eva? Any topics you want to add that we haven't discussed?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that before this diet, I was depressed, but it's not like I don't know how to say it. It was just the feeling, you know. In my head, I was happy and everything was working out for me, and I didn't even understand why I have this feeling of really depression and tired, no energy. And this completely went, this bad mood. I mean, I'm not sure if I could say it's a depression, but a very, very bad mood.
Yeah.
And so that was completely off now. And yes, I find a little bit difficult when I'm socializing.
Yeah.
This lifestyle, because, you know, like, for example, I've been to 2 meetings a couple of days ago, and you eat together, and there are certain foods, you know, it's not like I order something else.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because you become the problematic person, you know.
Yeah.
And I ended up eating some cheese, and well, I had my results, or the spots.
Yeah.
And, or, you know, tomorrow I'm going to a restaurant and with a friend, and he wants to show me the Latin culture and whatever. And, you know, he said, but if you don't eat, it's difficult to find, because the Latins eat meat. And then, maybe you could eat meat for this occasion. But no, I don't want to. I mean, okay, I did exception with the cheese, but no, with the meat, I cannot.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
can be, I feel myself like, oh, this is the problematic girl. It's not so easy with her.
Yeah, I think this is a really big point, Eva. And I think one of the issues is it makes people uncomfortable because they are forced to look at what they are eating. They are forced to examine, and they don't want to. They don't want to look at it. So.
Yeah.
And I think.
And also, he wants to keep calling me, and he loves cooking, and I want to cook for you. I want to cook for you, but always he can cook meat and meat dishes. Yeah. I don't want to eat that, so it's like the invitation stopped.
Yeah, it's true. It's unfortunate. It's a very social. Eating is a very social experience, and people want to share the same foods. It's difficult.
One day when I'm very rich and I don't know where to put all my money, I really want to create a lot of fast restaurants like McDonald's, where it is cozy and quick, but with healthy food, and in the schools also, give a lot of fresh fruit. I mean, like juices or what is smoothies or whatever, And
Yeah.
then you can even put it in a beautiful cup and call it a Superman drink or whatever, And then.
Eva, this is so great. Yeah, I'm with you. So I think this is huge. Same thing for me. If I could win the lottery, I would start a fast food chain that served only vegan food, and just put it all over the country, and just quality food, like you say, nice environment, maybe nice music, make it a aesthetic, a pleasant aesthetic experience. Yeah, that's a beautiful idea. And I think what you said earlier about your experience with the depression, or not depression, but let's say low energy and just kind of bad mood, I think that is really common. I think most people think it's normal. Most people think it's normal to have this, to every few days I have to take a aspirin for a headache, or, people become accepting of a low level of health. And then it's like you realize after you live this way for some time, it doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. And you think it's normal when it doesn't go to a certain extent, because when I started to have headaches and it was not so bad at the beginning, I thought, oh, that's normal. Oh, again, I have a headache. And, I accepted it. Or I had a bad mood sometimes, but at the end, when the headache was too often and unbearable, then it made me conscious, hey, something is wrong. Or when the bad mood was on days on and so deep, that I became aware of it. Why am I feeling like this? My situation is not bad. What makes me feel like so low? And it's not just 1 day or 2 days. Okay, maybe it's raining. That's why. It's continuous.
Yeah. I think it's huge. Yeah, I think people don't realize it's. I don't know if it's the fat, the protein, maybe the combination of all the negative components of cooked food and dairy products, but it's like it clogs the body, clogs the system, and I think it's harder for the body to function, and it's like this kind of continuous pressure on the body, on its functioning.
And you don't necessarily have to eat meat or dairy to get the bad result, because if I eat just, a little bit of cookie or chips, or, that will do for me.
Yes. Yeah, that's another interesting point. It's like the cleaner, the healthier you get, the more sensitive the body is, in a sense. The body recognizes foods that are unhealthy much more quickly. Yeah. But, I think I have to wrap this up, but it's been really fun talking to you. So maybe we could, sometime down the line do another session, and we could get an update on your work with your partners.
Definitely. And if somebody is listening to it and in Paris, please come forward and let's do it together.
That's great. That's great. So Eva Budai, thank you so much, and good luck in all of your efforts.
Thank you.
Bye.
It was nice talking to you. Bye.
Real pleasure. Bye-bye.